Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd like to invite everybody to stand, a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. Just a few housekeeping announcements. Board meetings are broadcast live over Channel 28, Verizon Fios Channel 27, and our live stream on the district website, as well as recorded for future broadcasts. Just like to remind everybody, if they could just either cut their phone off or put it on silence for the duration of the meeting, would be much appreciated. Also, this board met in executive session for matters of personnel and real estate matters. This time I'd like to turn the meeting over to Dr. Lee for his monthly highlights.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Again this year, the Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science Region 1C competition took place virtually from Cecilia Snyder Middle School. 361 students from Bucks and Philadelphia counties participated by presenting at the regional meet. While usually held in person at Snyder on the last Saturday in February, the format continued this year as an asynchronous virtual meet. 30 Bensalem High School students participated, with 26 students earning first place awards. Congratulations to all. The high school students were supported and sponsored by Mrs. Lisa Tokmajian. In the middle school division, after months of hard work and dedication, 7 Schaefer Middle School students earned first place awards. 8 Snyder students also earned a first place award. Earning a first place award will allow these talented young scientists to compete at the virtual PJS state meet in May. Congratulations to all our participants, and thank you to our sponsors at both Schaefer and Snyder, Morgan Gollenbeck, Kate Lease, and Tom Hoffman. Congratulations to the following Schaefer Middle School and Bensalem High School music students who successfully auditioned and were selected to the Bucks County Music Educators Association Countywide Festival that took place March 17th to the 19th. They had the opportunity to work with some of the best conductors in the tri-state area and perform high-quality literature with some of the best student musicians in Pennsylvania. Bensalem High School Marine Corps Junior ROTC were delighted to welcome Colonels Rebecca Gray and Christine Munch on March 15th to address cadets and guests. Colonels Gray and Munch spoke about March being Women's History Month and to their own experience as dynamic leaders both in uniform and as civilians. Seventh grade students in Miss Gollenbach's math class at Schaefer created board games to practice one-step and two-step equations and one-step and two-step inequalities. The students were able to play their games in class and help them review their math skills. Snyder Spirit Night, always one of the greatest nights in Bensalem, took place on March 11th. Students competed in poster contests, academic Olympics, art competitions, and countless gym activities. After fierce competition by both the blue and white teams, blue eventually prevailed and won Snyder's 20th annual Spirit Night. An amazing time was had by families, students, teachers, administrators, and community members. Belmont Hills 5th grade students have been studying how the first settlements were established in North America. Through their studies, they learned how colonists endured a long journey across the Atlantic Ocean on ships packed with people, supplies, and livestock. These students then used their engineering and design skills to create ships that would carry explorers with additional weight. In this activity, they needed to brainstorm ideas from a list of supplies, purchase supplies by staying within a budget, build and test their ship design, and reflect on ways to make improvements to their ships. Earlier this month, Cornwall celebrated Read Across America Week, highlighting the importance of literature. Each day they had a theme which had high participation and was met with great enthusiasm. On the last day, they welcomed author Daniel Jude Miller, whom the Cornwallians thoroughly enjoyed. During the week, students dressed as their favorite character from a book. In the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, students in second grade at Faust Elementary developed leprechaun traps. This activity fit perfectly into their science curriculum on the design process. Using a variety of materials, the teams planned, created, and tested their traps to see if they were up to the challenge of capturing the elusive little fellow that have foiled so many students over the past years. Even though the traps worked well when tested and the students had a blast making them, they fell just short of capturing the wily leprechaun. Better luck next year. For this marking period service project, Rush fifth graders partnered up with their kindergarten buddies to raise money for families affected by the war in Ukraine. After brainstorming ideas together, students decided to sell pretzel sticks dipped in yellow and blue chocolate to represent the colors of the Ukrainian flag. Working together, buddy partnerships made posters, wrote and delivered speeches to all the classrooms throughout Rush, made and packaged 400 pretzels and sold them to staff and students. In all, the students raised $335 to donate to humanitarian relief efforts in Ukraine. Struble fifth grade continuously talks about spreading kindness and how they can be of service to others. On March 4th, the fifth graders held a pretzel sale, which is typically a fundraiser for their field trip. Students agreed in advance that all money raised through this event would be donated to the United Ukrainian American Relief Committee. The sale was also extended to all staff in the building who purchased pretzels for themselves, their family members, and all students in their classes. Thanks to the generosity of all, Struble students and staff raised a total of $675 for UUARC. For the month of March, fourth grade students at Valley Elementary School have been researching and learning about the many different important women in history to celebrate Women's History Month. Along with biography posters, students prepared Google slide presentations for their fellow classmates and their second grade buddies. March 21st was Rock Your Socks Day, part of World Down Syndrome Awareness Day, a global awareness and inclusion campaign. March 21st was chosen to signify the uniqueness of the triplication of the 21st chromosome, which causes Down syndrome. Students and staff throughout the district wore brightly colored, mismatched socks to celebrate the day. They also donned their bracelets and wore blue and yellow. Donations from the bracelets are still coming in. At this point, we have raised $3,150 for Bucks County Down Syndrome Interest Group. That's all I have for you this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. There are no public comments cards submitted at this time. So I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the following consent agenda items. Secretary minutes items G1 through 7. Treasurer's reports item H1. Board policy items K1 through 5. Instructional affairs items L3 and 4. Business affairs items N, M, M1 through 10. 12, 13, 15 through 17, and personnel items N 1 through 6.
So moved. Second.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, those in God. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. I vapor locked there for a minute. Solicitor's report.
There's no solicitor's report beyond what we discussed in the executive session.
School board. Student school board members reports.
Welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Tonight we're here to update you on all the cool things happening at BHS this month. March is Women's History Month, and we've been celebrating in a lot of different ways. Bulletin boards have been decorated, we've had a dress-up day, and Mrs. Nahara and the Bensalem Activist Club will be hosting a bake sale on March 31st. All the proceeds will go to A Woman's Place, the only domestic violence community benefit organization in Bucks County. Other past events that have happened in March include Blue Gray on the 4th and Junior Prom, which was on March 18th. Speaking of, senior prom tickets are now on sale. Also this past weekend, several performing arts students participated in the Bucks County Music Educators Festival.
It was also a big month for our athletics department. The indoor track team completed the 4x100 relay, and Ashton Barnes participated in the state indoor track championships. Maya Krager competed and won the Girls East Regional Wrestling Championship. Drew Henry competed in the PIAA Swimming Championships. And finally, our boys basketball team participated in the PIAA State Tournament. In addition, 3 events will also be taking place soon. This Friday, Blue Crew is hosting its annual Blue-Gray student-teacher basketball game. There will be an alternate bell schedule for the high school on March 25th with shortened periods. Teachers have been and will continue to participate in professional learning communities to enhance their instructional practices by learning from their colleagues. In April, Blue Crew, Community Service, NHS, and a couple other clubs will be competing in a penny war to raise money for various charities. Finally, the Ryan Wilson Film Festival will also be held at the high school on April 6th. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you.
Standing committee reports, instructional affairs.
The minutes from the meeting are posted, but it is that time of year. Graduation. I know, I only get one more after the share. Graduation will be on Friday, June 17th at 5 p.m. Hopefully in the stadium, weather permitting. You know the drill with that. So we're going to hope for good weather again.
Business affairs.
The report's in the minutes.
Thank you, Kim. Personnel committee.
Report is attached. We spoke about retirements, resignations, and terminations, and requests for leaves of absence, rehires, new hires, and classification changes. And we're working on an ROT salary adjustment.
Thanks, Mark. Board policy committee. Heather. Outstanding. Thanks, Ken. Heather.
April, Madam Chair.
Like to entertain a motion to approve student withdrawal waiver and release requirements for students G, H, I, and J as reviewed with the board in executive session under confidential student matters.
So moved.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Motion to approve the field trip request for Bensalem High School for the junior class to New York on Thursday, November 10th to Saturday, November 12th at no cost to the district.
So moved.
Questions, comments? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Motion to approve the comprehensive future ready district plans for 2021 to 2024 as presented and reviewed with the board at the committee of the whole meeting on March 16, 2022.
So moved.
Questions, comments, concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay.
Nay.
Abstentions. Motion carries. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the facility rental form from the YWCA Bucks County for the use of the Schaefer Middle School gymnasium, cafe, multipurpose room, kitchen, athletic field, and pool, as well as the requested waiver of fees.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Motion to approve the resolution authorizing the transfer of funds in the amount of $10,942,123 from the district's general fund to the district's capital reserve fund.
So moved. Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Motion to approve retirements, resignations, and the terminations. I missed that. Thanks. I knew there was one in there. Motion to approve the resolution for termination of employee D.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments, concerns?
This is a personnel matter. If you have any real questions or comments, we should have an executive session to discuss.
Thank you, Peter. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. So just want to remind the public that the board did meet in executive session, as I stated earlier, for confidential student matters, employee personnel matters, and real estate matters. Upcoming board members are, we have a budget work session on March 28th, instructional affairs on April 5th, wellness committee on April 12th, personnel committee on April 12th, policy on April 12th, and business facilities and technology committee on April 13th, co-curricular April 18th, committee of the whole work session will be on April 20th, public relations and outreach committee will be on April 21st, regular action meeting will be on April 26th, and budget work session number 3 will be on April 28th. And like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?